Okay? So yesterday somebody brought up, so we said because it's shvus to shvus moka mitzvah. It's a double rabbinic. So somebody asked yesterday, which Mishna Berura discusses, everybody agrees, Alpayim Amo, 2,000 amos, 2,000 cubits outside of the city limits, it's rabbinical. So therefore, telling the non-Jew to do something which is only a rabbinical violation in a context of a mitzvah, right, that becomes the overriding factor. But the Rambam's position is, Yud Beis Mil, 12 mile, the 12-mile limit outside of the city limits, Rambam holds that's a doraisa. So are you permitted to tell him only within Yud Beis Mil? What about beyond? He brought it from outside of Yud Beis Mil. Are you permitted to use it, or are you permitted to tell him to bring it even from outside the 12-mile limit? That she discusses. Ayin Leil Simu Tov Kuf Peivov, Sif Chaf Aleph, Simt Shin Zayin. Hainu, the Simt Shin Zayin, maybe Mechaber Gam Das Oser, Shvus to Shvus Moka Mitzvah. Mechaber says there is an opinion that says even a double rabbinic law in a context of mitzvah is also not permitted. You know, there's a Gemara we had, Gemara in Shabbos. There was a woman, it's Gemara in Gittin, but it has to do with Gemara in Shabbos, that the Gemara says in Shabbos that at one time that a child, if you would circumcise him, the child had to be bathed in hot water before the circumcision. Otherwise, the child would be his life would be in danger. He had to be first washed, bathed in hot water. So the question is, post facto, after he's circumcised, if there's pikuach nefesh, right? So of course you can mechal Shabbos. It's life-threatening. But the question here, if I don't have hot water, I can't do the milah. So you don't do the. We rule that machshirim milah not docha Shabbos. The circumcision supersedes the Shabbos, but to facilitate it, that doesn't supersede the Shabbos. So heating the water definitely is not permitted. So Morris says, wait a second. So Morris says, in Gittin, there was an incident, such an incident. So Rava ruled that the mother herself, she's until a certain time passes after she gives birth, she's in a state of danger. She's pekuach nefesh. So it says you should heat the water for the mother on her behalf because she needs the water, and you add some water, which is called marbe b'shir, and you use the extra water to wash the child. Whatever, that's what he said. So over there, it has to do, because he's telling a goy, so it's a shvus b'moka mitzvah. So they say, you see over the, first over there, you're dealing with only one rabbinic violation, telling the non-Jew. So they say, what the Rishonim say, no. What you're adding, you're not permitted to add, right? So they say, it's nishta rice, even though it's a lesser liability, but so they say because Mila, the Gemara always says, Mila nichruso yud gimel brisos. Mila has such great value that the word bris is mentioned 13 times in the Torah. Therefore, this is something, it's a unique mitzvah. Other mitzvahs, you will not allow. Even shvus to shvus, even it's a double rabbinic. But over here, because Mila is so important for a child to be circumcised, Chazal are not going to interfere. So if it's only one, even for one rabbinic law, one rabbinic, we permit it. Telling the Jew to do something that you're not able to do yourself. Okay? But there's an opinion, and that's what he's citing, that even shvus to shvus moka mitzvah is not permitted. A double rabbinic. Go ahead.
A double rabbinic, is it equivalent to the Delaisa?
No.
It's weaker than the Delaisa.
It's offense. Again, you're asking a non-Jew to do something which is not permitted on the rabbinic level. Right? So it's double rabbinical. Even in the context of a mitzvah. There's an opinion citing that you're not permitted. I'll give you an example. It comes up. You have a kiddush in shul, and you have a housekeeper. You have a child in a stroller, and you tell the housekeeper, bring the child to shul for the kiddush. Right? Or you're eating at someone's house, and you want the child to be brought there, and you didn't prepare for Shabbos. So you stay at home, eat matzah and crackers and whatever, and vegetables. So you're not going to have a Shabbos meal. So so you're asking, and you're not going to, even though you can leave the child home, you don't have to bring the child. Let the housekeeper do it. But you're asking the housekeeper to bring. And let's say, and it's not a Rosh Hashanah. It's just what we call a Carmelis. There's no Erev in the community, but it's not a Doraisa. So it's a Shvus, but Moka Mitzvah. whatever you want to call it, Mokum Mitzvah. Or the wife can't come to shul on Rosh Hashanah, and it's Rosh Hashanah falls on a Shabbos unless the housekeeper brings the child to shul. Okay, so it's Mokum Mitzvah. Is it permitted? It's okay. There's an opinion that Shvus to Shvus Mokum Mitzvah is not permitted. No, that's different. That's Mokum Rabim's. No, that's different. That's different. It's different. At first, it's not so simple. No. It is Tzarech HaRabim. It's a necessary. It's a necessity for the. No. I said it is. It is. Bris is on an individual level. This is a tzibur. Tzibur has a special level. It's not so simple. It's not so simple. It's not so simple. Maybe you have to allude to it. Even when you say it, you don't say, put on the air conditioning. You say, it's becoming impossibly hot air, something has to be done. And the person understands, so he puts on the air conditioning. First of all, I never said that to you. No. I'm just saying, it's not simple. You have to learn halachas. Shvus is a very complicated laws. There are many things, it all started with the Shabbos going in Europe. In Europe, everybody had a Shabbos go, because people didn't have stoves. You had a communal stove, and everybody would leave their cholent in the stove before Shabbos, and they would have a Shabbos guy going to the stove, to the communal stove, and they would bring it to the various homes. That's where the Shabbos guy started. And everybody knew exactly what they were doing, but that's what they did. So from that, many other things happened. Well, but let's see the halach here. Because no, I'm telling you, it's to accommodate the tzibur. No, it's not a shvus to shvus. There's one shvus. One, telling a non-Jew to do something that you can't do yourself, and this is the Raisa, putting on the lights. No, it's not grama. It's not grama. No. A switch in a hospital. In Israel, they make these certain, they're called grama switches. No, anything instantaneous is considered not grama. That's a ruling from Chaim Ozer. Anything which happens instantaneously is not, even regardless of how many steps have to take place for it to happen. But if it's instantaneous, that's considered that's one action. No, because there has to be a slight delay. But everybody, the question is, what's discernible? If you know how quick it has to take, and it takes longer than that, that's called discernible. But if you're not aware, so it's not discernible. Shvus to shvus mokum. It's not simple. There's an opinion that shvus. That would be shvus to shvus. If it would be a mitzvah, that for that mitzvah would be permitted.
So, we're having this for Friday night, and we forgot to put the lights on in the dining room. I'm not talking about tzibur, just myself. Now, I've trained her about the elbow difference. Would it be okay?
Something, you could train it with the elbow, but let's say she chooses to put it on conventionally. It's not a problem. Because what you told her is not a problem. Right.
Would be okay, according to this.
If you've told her, especially if you told her before Shabbos. Told you.
No.
Okay, I don't want to get off the track here now. Let's just go further here. Here, he says, nevertheless, although he cites in Shin Zayin an opinion that's more stringent, but in the latest siman, he only cites the lenient opinion. The shvus to shvus mitzvah is permitted. Heavy cloud das also fize mutter apel chatchilo lomal lenochri biyomtiv lavi lulav chutz l'tchum. So you're permitted to tell the non-Jew to bring a lulav from out of the tchum. So the question is, so why does the Mechaber say if a non-Jew had brought it, So meaning it was not due to your instruction. Here, it's very important. He says, what do we speak of nochri shehevi? If the non-Jew had brought it on without being told from outside the 12-mile limit, which is this doraisa, that's why. But if it's within the tchum, within 12 miles, which is only drabonon, you can even tell them directly, bring the lulav, although you're not able to get the lulav yourself. L'kam poskim hu doraisa Yisrael, if it's outside the 12 mil. Kein osel chatchil lo malakum lovi afil mokum mitzvah, mokev shgar hevi mutalitl of lotzis bohainu, afil mishuhu vel b'shvilo. Atam, what's the reason? Came in the betiltum mutal lakol, vel mutagam lotzis bo. Because since it's not considered muktzah, so therefore, lo osir ella lihonus bimenu, you cannot benefit from something that's brought from outside of the tchum. But since we say mitzvah lav utilizing something is not considered benefiting, umitzvah lo bikriya noah bikomok b'shas adchak sheimotz b'yadulov v'achel lotzis bo hiskimu ha'achronim yishlokelam ha'akom hovi afil chutz liyud b'izmil. He says, however, if there's no mitzvah lulav available, even if you have tell a non-Jew to travel to another city to bring the lulav outside the 12-mile limit, you're permitted. That's only if he's able to bring the lulav back within the period of time of being outside the mitzvah. But to tell him on the first day of Yom Tov, bring the lulav, I need it tomorrow, that you're not permitted. Right? Chutz liyud beis mil, outside of the limits. We make a differentiation. There's a difference bringing it from a location that's not available to you, or what about actually reaping it, cutting the arava? You have a willow, and your arava has dried up. You say, do me a favor, I want you to pick a willow. Pick an arava. Are you permitted to tell them? That's this doraisa, right? That's shvus b'moka mitzvah. Aval arov shnit shom yom to afil shlo b'shul Yisrael. Maybe yom tov rishon, maybe yom l'sheni. Also l'taltlo afil ein lo acheres lotzis bo. It's muktzah. Right, it's called muktzah machvasisr. The muktzah he, the shvus afil moka mitzvah osur. Chen im nitlusho b'yom tov rishon muteres b'sheni. So it was picked on the first day. The second day, this is like Vayeishev the b'yom tov, right? It was laid on the first day. You permitted you to eat the egg on the second day. So it was picked on the first day. You permitted to use it on the second day, right? Because it's monavshach. If the first day is yom tov, so the second day is chol, and if the second day is chol, is yom tov, it was picked on a weekday. Emlog shechol yom tov rishon b'Shabbos. Those also lots of gam b'yom tov rishon, simtov kuf gimli in beyo. We'll leave it right here. Okay, we'll get back to this.
By some reason one forgets, or one is unable to do the Abba meeting one day, can you resume the next day?
Definitely. It's not like Sphira.
No, it's not like Sphira.
No. Every day is a separate obligation. It's speaking, it's true, but it's only in a context that you're not permitted to tell them to put it on. No, if they ate it on for herself or for you. No, you don't have to. No, no problem. No. If she did for herself, you could benefit from the light. Let's say she's looking for something. No, there's different cooking. That's simple. They differentiate between food and other levels of benefit. And there's some hold even she cooks a pot of coffee for herself. Let's say you go to a hotel, and they put a pot of coffee, and you happen to be at the hotel. Are you permitted to drink that coffee? Some hold you permitted. Some hold you permitted. The way it's ruled, you should not. Because something which has to do with, as they say, a person has his level of benefit when it comes to eating or drinking. It's a different level of benefit than having a location illuminated. It's a different level. No, because the reason is because if you benefit from it, you may tell the person to do more. That's the reason. When it's a light, it's a different level. Food, a person because you enjoy it and you're nourished, there's a greater concern. You may tell them to act on your behalf. Other things not. Okay.